Hey, hello everybody, welcome to the Sound Test Room. Today we are taking a look at a new app from Blue Mangoo. It's called Noise Gate, but it's like it uses downward expansion too, which is super cool. And it's super cool for a load of reasons. You can side chain the gate to like bass frequencies or high end frequencies, which is super cool because it allows us to do some very cool stuff. Now, using it as we could use this just as a noise gate or a noise remover, if you like. At the moment, it's removing noise from my vocal, which is running through AUM. Now, I'm going to get into that session in a sec, which is very cool. It shows you how to use it more creatively. Normally, I would use Bruce Free if I was just wanted to remove noise. But a noise gate is you get more control, and you can do like cool gate and effects with a noise gate. So let's get into this. Let's play this little loop here for a start off, and then I'll give you a track example where I'm just removing some noise from a noisy guitar amp. And then we'll go into another session where I'm using it more creatively to gate stuff properly. Okay, so here we go. It's very simple. You don't have any presets. You don't need them. You have threshold, attack, release. Normal, you would expect that to work. You have a ratio, which kind of works in reverse because it's using downward expansion. You honestly don't need to get into the techie stuff. It really doesn't matter. You just need to play around with it. And then you have a sidechain minimum frequency and a sidechain max frequency. These are like top end and bass. You can remove. It's cool. Listen, here's this loop. So at the moment there's no gating or anything going on. It's well within its threshold limit. Even if I just turn the ratio into a gate, or even just bypass it, doesn't do anything. So we'll leave it about there for now. Let's just push the threshold right up there. So the gate is now starting to work. Sounds really tight. If you're getting any like artifacts, you can mess with the release time. So it gives it a little bit more time to let go. But here's the cool thing, right? Listen to what happens when I start to use the SC minimum frequency, the sidechain frequency for the bass end. It will basically take out the bass, but leave the top end in. Now at this point, you can start to mess around with the thresholds and release times. We're starting to get some really cool effects. Now to show this in action, I'll take out all the top end. And now you've got nothing. So let's drive the bass end back in. There it starts. So by playing around with it, you're actually gating the upper frequencies, but letting all the low end frequencies back in. Okay. So for that example, that's how you can you can hear it better on something like that. Of course, it would be in a mix normally, so you're using it creatively, right? So in this next example, which is a track. So this is a track from the new Colin album. And it's one of Colin's. So this bass, now you wouldn't normally hear this in the mix, but you know, this is a relatively quiet song, so you do kind of hear it. So you have to make adjustments. It's basically amp noise on this bass as well. So if I play the actual soloed track here, you'll hear that, right? And then if we take it back and I unsolo it, You'll hear some other noise as well. So you can, there's noise on the guitar effects as well, and there's also noise on the bass. Now you could use Bruce Free, just this is basically just to remove noise, but you can also use a gate as well, as effectively, if you like, especially in a mix. But you also get extra control if you want to start to use you want to remove some top end from that, like we did with the thing. So you can see I've got one here. So I'll switch it on, and you'll see that the settings here are pretty basic. All the frequencies are allowed through. Release time is 95 milliseconds. Attack time is up a little tiny bit like that. Threshold is at about minus 31 dB. Ratio is set 5.1. It's fine. But now with it disengage the gain, you can hear it. So let me solo the bass again. So what I'm going to do now is noise gate that guy making noise outside. I'm going to engage the noise gate as the sound is playing. And we've eliminated that. Of course, it will still be there when the bass comes in, but that's inevitable. But it doesn't matter because the music is playing then, you know. So now we've eliminated that first part of the problem. If we go down further now, we try and find our noisy guitar. I think it's this one here. We can do exactly the same thing. So if I play this, I'll go to this here. You'll see that I've already got one engaged. So if I switch that off, I'll make sure I'm on the right track here. If I switch this off, there's quite a lot going on there. Now that is also on this one as well. So all we need to do is set up another noise gate on this, and we've eliminated all of that. So if I just mute that track now and leave the other two in, what we've fixed so far, which would be the basses and this, of course you can start to mess around with it. And then on you go until you've fixed your entire mix with it, you know what I mean? So it's a matter of a bit of surgical messing around with the settings and stuff to eliminate the noise from the offending tracks, if you like, or the amp noise and stuff like that. Artifacts like that, they just creep in, you know, so there you go. Anyway, and this next example is more extreme, more fun sort of thing if you kind of want to hear what's going on, and also a good way to understand how it actually works. So we'll go over to AUM. Okay, so in this example in AUM, I have a rock drum machine from Louis Martinez, and I have a Rusemaker Noir, and then I have my microphone channel here, and you'll see that my microphone is being noise reduced. So I will just, if I open that now, you'll hear the background noise. So to eliminate that, all we need to do is just drop this back in like that, and it's done. Excellent stuff. So it's very, very effective as using a noise gate just to remove noise as well from unwanted things, which is kind of what you're doing with the guitar stuff as well. You're just finding and then eliminating, dialing in a setting that best suits it, trying it out in the whole mix, etc., etc. Right, so this is what's going on here. So you'll hear that Noir is ringing. Okay, so if we sorry, we won't solo it. We'll mute the drums, so you can still hear me. So you'll hear that Noir, that preset is it's ringing. It's got like a kick drum in there, and it's ringing. So I've also got a couple of binaural locations from the same developer, Blue Mango, just to add a bit of movement when we engage them. But for now, let's just engage the noise gate, and straight away you'll see that we've managed to eliminate that kind of release time that's on the actual sound. We could go even further, like this. Really tighten it up, and like I said before, if we remove the top frequencies, there aren't a lot going on there, but there are a few. But we can now completely take out the bass, because you're side chaining not the top end, and then we could slowly dial it back in so you can see what's happening. So I'm quite happy with that setting for that. That's okay. It's done a good job of tightening that up. Cool beans. Okay, let's mute that one and unmute the drums. Okay, so you'll see I've got a beat former. I've got a beat former in there for a reason, because I want it to even get noisier than it is now. Now we're applying all sorts of cool compression stuff via beat former. Okay, let's put in our noise gate, and you won't hear anything just yet. So let's go and have a mess. Awesome. Now we can get some cool stuff going by taking the release down. The attack. We could go full gate. Let's put some top end back in, eh? Nice. Now we're getting into propagating. But let's take out the bass. Maybe the release. That's all of it gone. Let's engage about the binaural location. At this point, if you're not wearing headphones, you need to hear this effect of the binaural locator. You need to wear headphones. So. kind of an essential app if you want to do some serious shaping of your sound, or even if you've got a problem somewhere with noise. If you can find it, you can get rid of it, the vast majority of it, and using like you're saying, using small amounts of just playing with the release and stuff, you can get rid of any audio artifacts of the noise after the gate's closed and starts to kind of open again, if you know what I mean. So attack times and release times are important to get rid of any of those extra audio artifacts that you maybe don't want creeping in and stuff like that. But it's all about playing around with it, and just having a blast. So there you go, guys, is Noise Gate from Blue Man Goo. Very good. Pretty essential, I think. Gates, limiters, compressors. You can't always hear them, but you can get creative with them, as you've just seen in those couple of examples. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll put a link in for Noise Gate in the description below. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Consider becoming a patron from as little as $1 a month. Help support what we do at the Sound Test Room. It's really, really appreciated. And thank you very, very much. I will see you guys later. Ta-ta.